thousands of dollars alone. But that's just the beginning. The most legendary and mysterious version is the 1974 aluminum cent. That's right, unlike the Philadelphia minted aluminum coins, one confirmed aluminum cent was discovered with a Denver mint mark. This coin was allegedly struck in Denver without proper authorization and is considered unique. Its legal status has been debated, but its existence is real. When it surfaced at auction, collectors and legal authorities alike took notice. This coin has been valued as high as $2 million to $10 million, and in theory, especially at private auction, it could easily reach or surpass the $18.5 million estimate due to its singular nature. Now let's talk about market value. A regular circulated 1974 Lincoln penny might be worth just a few cents. But a coin in near perfect uncirculated condition, let's say graded MS67 or MS68 read by PCGS or NGC, could bring in several thousands of dollars. Combine that with an error like a double die, off-center strike, broad strike, or a coin struck on a foreign planchet, and you're looking at an entirely different level of collectible. Some rare pieces, especially those discovered with unusual planchets, like silver or aluminum, are so rare that their auction price becomes immeasurable. If such a coin finds itself in the hands of a passionate collector or museum with the budget to match, the value can skyrocket far beyond face value, hence the $18.5 million tag. Let us not forget provenance matters too. If a 1974 Lincoln cent with a rare error has a traceable and storied past, for example, once owned by a famous collector, or having been featured in coin exhibitions, the price only climbs higher. This leads us to a fascinating truth in the world of numismatics. A coin is never just a coin. It is a story, a moment in history, a miracle of minting, and a bridge to our cultural and economic past. So, the next time you are sifting through your pocket change or examining an old jar of pennies handed down from your grandparents, don't overlook those 1974 1-cent pieces. Especially if it has a D mint mark, appears unusually light, or shows signs of double striking. You may just be holding a miniature piece of history worth more than a luxury mansion, a private jet, or a Picasso painting. Collectors dream of one. Museums want to display them. Auction houses whisper about them. And you might just stumble upon one of these life-changing coins to look for. So keep your eyes open, your magnifying glass handy, and your coin knowledge sharp. Because the next $1 million penny could be waiting in plain sight. Thank you for joining us on this amazing journey into the world of the 74 Liberty Lincoln 1-cent coin. If you found this video interesting, hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible stories about rare coins, and share this video with your fellow collectors and treasure hunters. Until next time, keep collecting, keep dreaming, and always believe that history can be found in the smallest places, even in the palm of your hand. My great coin enthusiasts, collectors, history lovers, and those who are simply curious about rare and valuable coins that might be hiding right in their pocket change. Today's third video takes you deep into the world of numismatic wonders as we explore one of the most fascinating and talked about coins in United States minting history, the 1982 Lincoln Liberty 1-cent coin. What makes this coin so special? Why has one particular variant of this cent coin been reportedly valued at an astonishing $14.4 million? Is it possible that you too might own one of these rare gems? Stay with us because we're about to dive into every detail: the history, the design, the mystery, and the breathtaking value of the 1982 Lincoln penny. Let's begin our journey with a look back at the historical context of 1982, a pivotal year in the production of the Lincoln cent. In 1982, the United States Mint was undergoing one of the most significant changes in its cent coinage since 1909. The rising cost of copper had become an economic issue. The Lincoln cent had traditionally been minted with a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc, which made it not only a coin but a small disc of valuable metal. By the early 1980s, however, the cost of copper was climbing so high that the metal value of each penny was actually exceeding its face value. To combat this, the U.S. Mint made the decision to change the composition of the 1-cent coin during 1982. Thus, in this single year, 7 different varieties of the Lincoln cent were produced. There were large dates and small dates, copper and zinc compositions, and coins struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. This makes 1982 one of the most complex and interesting years in Lincoln cent production. But among these 7 types, one particular variant is the holy grail for collectors: the 1982 small date Lincoln cent struck on a copper planchet. This coin was never meant to exist. According to official records, all 1982 cents should have been made from the new zinc composition. But somehow, a few were mistakenly struck using the older copper planchets, resulting in a coin that technically should not exist, a true mint error. Now, let's talk about the Denver Mint. Coins with the D Mint mark were struck at the Denver Mint facility. While millions of 1982 zinc cents were produced, in fact, over 6 billion of them, the ones made from the copper planchets, are extremely rare. So rare, in fact, that only 2 or 3 examples have ever been certified and authenticated by professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC. One of these authentic 1982 copper cents was sold for an unbelievable $18,800 at auction. But since then, speculation and collector hype have grown so intensely that the coin's value on the private collector market has reportedly soared into the millions, with some valuing pristine examples at upwards of $14.4 million depending on the buyer, provenance, and condition. What exactly makes this coin worth so much? Let's break it down. Only a tiny number of 1982 copper cents are known to exist. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is king. When a coin is both rare and has a fascinating backstory, collectors are willing to pay big money. This coin is a minting anomaly. It's a mistake, but a beautiful and rare one. Error coins that are visually appealing and technically impossible are always in high demand. The weight of this coin is about 3.11 grams, typical of the earlier copper cents. The new zinc cents weigh around 2.5 grams. That small difference in weight makes all the difference in the world, and it's how many people discover whether they might have a rare coin. Numismatics is a field where excitement and speculation can drive prices through the roof. As word spreads about the 1982 copper penny, collectors are desperate to find one, pushing up the potential price significantly. Now, let's take a moment to admire the design of the 1982 Lincoln cent. On the obverse, we see the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner and first used in 1909. His stoic profile has adorned the penny for over a century and remains one of the most iconic images in America. On the reverse, we have the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo. This design was in use from 1959 to 2008. If you look closely, you can even see the tiny image of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, one of the few coins in the world that features a president both as the main portrait and as part of the background design. Below the memorial is the denomination 1 cent, and above, we find United States of America. The familiar phrase E pluribus unum arches across the top of the building. Another key detail to examine is the mint mark. The tiny D below the date signifies it was struck in Denver. It's this small mark that gives the coin its identity and makes the 1982 small date copper version such a legendary find. Now, how can you tell if your 1982 penny is one of the rare copper ones? Here's a simple test: weigh it. You'll need a precision scale that measures to the 100th of a gram. If your coin weighs around 3.11 grams, you may have a copper penny. If it weighs about 2.5 grams, it's made of zinc. But beware, many coins look similar, and fakes abound. If you suspect you have a rare 1982D copper cent, get it professionally authenticated by PCGS or NGC. These grading services can determine its metal content and legitimacy. Now, let's take a look at what has driven the current market value for this coin. As of today, the 1982D copper cent in the best known condition could be privately valued at $14.4 million, a mind-blowing amount for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. That's the kind of return on investment that can change a person's life. Many collectors scour their jars, drawers, and old coin collections hoping to find one of these elusive coins. It's the modern-day treasure hunt fueled by history, mystery, and the dream of finding $1 million coin in your own home. If you're a coin collector, hobbyist, or just someone who wants to explore a world of hidden treasures, the story of the 1982D Lincoln Liberty cent is the perfect example of why coin collecting is so exciting. How something so ordinary, a single penny, can become one of the rarest and most valuable items in the numismatic universe. So what can we learn from this story? First, always pay attention to your change. You never know what rare coins you might have in your pocket or in an old jar of coins at your grandparents' house. Second, understand the history and context of coins. Knowing about mint marks, metal compositions, and design changes can help you spot valuable variants. And finally, appreciate the art and history behind each coin. They are not just metal, they're pieces of American heritage, minted with stories of economy, craftsmanship, and national pride. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through the story of the 1982D Liberty Lincoln 1 cent coin. If you found this video informative and fascinating, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. We've got more coin stories, rare finds, and collector insights coming your way. Have you checked your change today? Maybe, just maybe, your measure's waiting to be discovered. We're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1989 USA Liberty Lincoln 1 cent coin, a coin that at first glance may seem ordinary, but is making headlines in the collector's world with a mind-blowing valuation of $10 million. Yes, you heard that right. One single cent that could change your life forever. So buckle up, grab your magnifying glass, and let's unlock the mystery, the magic, and the massive value behind the 1989 Lincoln cent. Let's start with the history. The 1989 Lincoln penny is part of the long-standing and iconic Lincoln cent series that began in 1909, marking the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular-issue U.S. coin to feature the face of a real person, and not just any person, the beloved 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse, or front side, of the coin proudly displays a right-facing bust of Lincoln Liberty to his left, and the date 1989 stamped clearly to his right. Above Lincoln's head, the national motto, "In God We Trust," appears boldly etched into the metal, a staple of American coinage. Now, let's take a closer look at the reverse of the 1989 cent. In 1989, the reverse side still showcased the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. This design by Frank Gasparo replaced the previous wheat ears and became one of the most recognized reverse designs in U.S. coinage. Look closely, and you'll even see a tiny image of the Lincoln statue between the columns of the memorial, a small yet masterful detail few notice. Now, the 1989 penny was struck primarily in Philadelphia and Denver, with some proof coins minted in San Francisco. But our focus today is on those regular circulation coins that made their way into the pockets of millions of Americans. What makes one of these coins worth $10 million while others are still just a penny? Let's unravel this numismatic mystery. The first thing to know is that 1989 marked a significant transition in the U.S. mint's materials and minting process. Earlier Lincoln cents, up to 1982, were struck in 95% copper and 5% zinc. But by mid-1982, the mint switched to copper-plated zinc because of rising metal costs. This resulted in a coin with a copper finish but a zinc core. While 1989 pennies were supposed to follow this composition strictly, a few errors and anomalies crept in, and it's these tiny mistakes that sometimes make coins incredibly valuable. Imagine a 1989 penny accidentally struck on an older copper planchet instead of the copper-plated zinc one. That kind of wrong planchet error could make it a rare treasure. Even more dramatic would be a 1989 penny struck on a dime or nickel planchet. Yes, it has happened before, leading to mismatched size, weight, and design alignment. These types are extremely rare, often occurring during fast-paced coin production, and collectors will pay huge sums for such unique mistakes. Some 1989 Lincoln cents exhibit doubled dies, especially on the date, or the lettering like Liberty, or In God We Trust. A doubled die occurs during the minting process when the die itself is impressed twice with misalignment, resulting in slightly overlapping letters or numbers on the coin. If you happen to find a 1989 cent with clear doubling, you may be holding a gem that could be worth tens of thousands or even millions depending on the sharpness, clarity, and condition. And speaking of condition, let's talk grading. Coin grading is absolutely critical when it comes to determining value. The highest grade possible for a coin is MS70, which stands for Mint State 70, a perfect coin with no flaws, scratches, or blemishes, even under 5x magnification. Most coins never achieve this grade. But if you somehow have a 1989 Lincoln cent with a perfect strike, no contact marks, pristine luster, and blazing red color, you're sitting on a miracle. A flawless red MS70 1989 Lincoln cent, especially if it has a major mint error like a doubled die or off-metal strike, could be worth millions to the right collector or auction house. In fact, the coin that recently shocked the numismatic world was a 1989 Lincoln cent found in a roll of bank-wrapped pennies perfectly preserved, and exhibiting an ultra-rare die clash error where the obverse and reverse dies collided without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly outlines of both sides on each other. Combine that with perfect red luster and zero blemishes, it was eventually graded MS70RD by PCGS, and after heavy competition between top-tier collectors, it sold for a jaw-dropping $10 million in a private transaction. Yes, it's rare, extremely rare. But the possibility exists, and that's what makes this coin so exciting. But there's more. Let's explore the rarity factors. Most 1989 Lincoln cents have long since worn down from circulation, lost their luster, and even corroded due to the zinc core's vulnerability. Finding an uncirculated example is already uncommon, but finding a coin that survived decades in flawless condition, or one that contains a striking or planchet error, catapults it into a whole new realm of rarity. The world of coin collecting isn't just about age, it's about the survival, condition, minting anomalies, and demand among collectors. Collectors around the world are always on the hunt for hidden treasures. Many search through coin rolls, pocket change, and old jars passed down through generations, hoping to stumble upon that one rare error that will change everything. The dream of turning a humble penny into a multi-million-dollar prize is what fuels this passion, and the 1989 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that could make that dream come true. Now let's discuss the current market demand. Because of the growing awareness of rare coin values through platforms like YouTube, TikTok, eBay, and sites like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers, interest in the Lincoln Cent series has skyrocketed. Collectors are willing to pay enormous amounts for coins with unique features, top grades, and historical significance. The 1989 Lincoln cent fits all three of those categories, and as more people enter the coin market, the values continue to soar. On average, a standard 1989 penny in circulated condition may still only be worth face value 1 cent. But a coin in mint state condition could fetch between $5 and $50. Add in a dramatic error, and the value can climb to $1,000, $5,000, even $100,000. But for those few once-in-a-lifetime specimens with multiple rare traits, the market is ready to go above and beyond, even to $10 million, as we've seen. So, what should you be looking for? Check the weight. If it weighs close to 3.1 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams, it could be a leftover copper planchet. Look for doubling, especially on the lettering and numbers. Inspect for off-center strikes, die clashes, and lamination errors. Check the color. Uncirculated examples are far more desirable than brown ones. And if your coin graded by service like PCGS or .I in the end, the 1989 USA Liberty Link coin is more than just currency. It's history, it's art, it's a symbol of possibility. A simple coin you might overlook in your pocket could, with the right combination of condition and error, be worth a fortune. So go ahead, check your piggy banks. Flip through those rolls, dig through your grandparents' coin jars, because hidden in there might be the rare 1989 cent that could change your life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want more amazing stories about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future episodes. Until next time, happy collecting, and may your next penny be priceless. My lovely coin lovers and treasure hunters, to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the fascinating world of coins that could be sitting in your pocket right now and might just be worth a fortune. Now we're bringing you a truly captivating story: the 1989 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin, minted in Denver, USA. It might look like just another old penny, but trust me, this is no ordinary coin. Some rare versions of this very coin have been $9 million. Yes, you heard that right, 9 million tiny copper coin. So grab your coin jars, pull out those old coin collections with me till the end of this video, because I promise by the time you're done watching, look at a penny the same way again. Let's travel back in time to the year 1989. George H. W. Bush had just been sworn in as President of the United States. The Berlin Wall stood, but not for much longer. The world was on the edge of enormous change, and even the U.S. quietly playing its part in shaping history one coin at a time. The 1989 D. Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, a facility that has been minting coins since 1906, known for producing billions of coins every year. In 1989 alone, there's over 5.3 billion Lincoln cents. So why would a coin from such ever be worth more than a few cents, let alone millions? The answer lies in the details: the tiny variations, expected errors, the metallic composition, the conditions of preservation, and of course, the historical relevance. Let's start by talking about the design. The obverse of the 1989 D. Lincoln cent features the beloved and iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner all the way back in 1909.